مدد يا مشايخ دستور ما شاء الله فاز شيخ محمد الحقاني مدد طريقتنا الصحبة والخير في الجمعية. سبحان الله الرحمن الرحيم. هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون. صدق الله العظيم. Allah Azze ve Celle bilenlerle bilmeyenler bir olur mu?
Allah Almighty poses the questions, are the ones who know and the ones who do not know equal?
Yani olmaz demek.
No, the ones who know are not equal with those who do not know.
İlim her Müslümana öğrenmesi farzdır.
Knowledge is an obligation every single Muslim must seek.
İlmin sonu da yoktur.
There is no limit to knowledge.
Öğrenebildiği kadar öğrenecek.
As a Muslim, you are required to learn as much as you can.
Doğru ibadetini yapsın.
You must fulfill the obligations of your worship.
Namazını kılsın.
Perform your prayers. Complete your fasting.
Zekatını
give zakah.
Onar vermek her Müslüman için farzdır.
These are all obligations we must fulfill as Muslims.
Ondan sonra başka şeyler de öğrenmek, ilim meclislerinde bulunmak.
Moreover, it is also an obligation to acquire knowledge and to increase knowledge, and to attend gatherings and congregations dedicated to spread knowledge.
İlim meclisi dediğimiz hem sohbet de.
What are congregations of knowledge? Those can be the congregations dedicated for sohbah.
İlimdir. Başka şeyler de ilimdir. Vaaz da ilimdir.
It could also be the sermons delivered, the lectures delivered at mosques, or speeches being delivered.
Onlar insan hayatı boyunca yaptığı vakit bu emri yerine getirmiş olur.
And these are just examples of places to attend in order to obtain knowledge. And as Muslims, it is an obligation for us to seek the places to obtain knowledge and to increase and acquire ever more knowledge as much as we can.
Çünkü farzdır.
It is an obligation.
İlim öğrenmek farzdır, şey değil yani.
To acquire knowledge and to increase one's knowledge is obligatory, and it is not something one may ignore.
Senin ben bilmiyorum değil de
there is no excuse for someone to say I didn't know.
Niyet edeceksin.
You must make the intention to acquire knowledge.
Hayat boyunca inşallah.
And you must try to learn throughout your entire life as much as you can.
İlim öğrenmeye niyet ettim.
Your intention should be, oh my Lord, Allah Almighty, I intend to seek knowledge throughout my entire life as good as much as I can.
O ilmi Allah rızası için.
And the reason why you should seek this knowledge is in order to fulfill Allah Almighty's commands and to obtain Allah Almighty's pleasure and satisfaction.
Ahiretin mamur olması için.
Your intention to seek knowledge should be in order to build your hereafter.
O ilmi yavaş yavaş ne kadar öğrenirsek öğreneceğiz.
And then we must start learning step by step, as much as we can, little by little.
Bazı şeyler var anlamadığı insanın.
Of course, there are certain things a person may not understand.
Bildiği kadar anladığı şeyleri başkasına da söyleyip başkası da istifade edebilir.
But one should focus on what understands and what one knows, and one should focus on his own expertise and also teach those about one's own knowledge to others who do not know about those things.
Bazı şeyler var ki insan herkes anlayış seviyesi aynı olmadığı için o anlamadığı şeyleri başkalarına söylemek gerekmez.
But we should also be humble enough to really understand what we are capable of understanding, and we should be cautious about what we learn and about what we teach. We must not make the mistake about teaching things to people about which we have no understanding, and we should be careful about when it comes to teaching things which the person we're addressing may not understand. People have different levels of understanding and different levels of expertise, and we should be respectful of their level of understanding and of their expertise when it comes to learning knowledge oneself and when it comes to sharing knowledge.
Mesela bazı evliyaların sohbetlerinde, söyledikleri şeyler bazı insanların anlayacağı cinsten değil, onları.
For example, the friends of Allah Almighty, the awliya, they may have spoken words of wisdom which is not accessible to everyone's level of understanding.
Söylemeye mecbur değilsin.
And these things which may not be understood by everyone is something which you cannot just tell to anyone.
Vazifen değildir.
And you must not consider it your obligation to share these things which no one will understand in the end.
Çünkü iyilik yapayım derken kötülük yapmış olursun.
Because your intention may be to do something good by sharing these things, but if you address the wrong people, we may actually cause a harm.
İnsanlar ters anlar.
Because people may run the danger of understanding things incorrectly.
Yaptıkları şey faydasız olur.
And then this wrong or incorrect understanding may lead to wrong or bad actions which will then have no benefit.
Sen onların yaptığı şeyden sana mesuliyet olur.
And then you will become responsible of their actions because you were the one who taught them.
Senin mesuliyetinde bazen günah yapmış olursun.
And then this responsibility you have taken onto your shoulders will then eventually may turn into a sin because you are then responsible of what the people did.
Onun için Şeyh Nazım Hazretleri çoğu insan Muhittin Arabi Hazretleri'nin kitaplarını okuyan derdi. Onlara izin vermezdi çünkü.
So for example, Mawlana Sheikh Nazim did not recommend anyone to read the books of Muhyiddin ibn Arabi.
Anlayacağı şeyden değil.
Because Muhyiddin ibn Arabi's books were beyond the understanding of those people who wanted to read about it.
Alimler bile onu alimler onu anlayan insanlardır.
And even scholars and knowledgeable people and experts in this field would not necessarily teach those things because they would know about the limitations of understanding of people, and so it is a form of knowledge which is not accessible to anyone, not accessible to everyone.
Yani Muhittin Arabi Hazretleri Şeyh-i Ekber, yani büyük şeyhlerdendir.
Because the level of understanding and knowledge and wisdom of Muhyiddin ibn Arabi was one of the greatest. He belongs to one of the greatest sheikhs, to one of the greatest scholars.
Onun kerameti meşhurdur.
And he is well known for his miraculous knowledge and for his miraculous wisdom.
Muteberdir, yani öyle okumayın deyince yani ona kötüdür diye değil de.
And he is a respected and well acknowledged scholar and saint. And what we mean, and to make this clear, when we say this is something not everyone should read, this is not because this is not because the knowledge is not approved. No, it is well approved, and he's well established and well respected, and he's among the greatest scholars and saints that existed. But his level of understanding is simply not accessible to just everyone.
Sen anlamayacağın cinstendir.
And he has a level of understanding you may just simply not understand.
Yani bu misal olarak veriyoruz Şeyh Ekber, Şeyh Muhiddin Arabi Hazretleri.
And this is just an example to illustrate the differences of understandings. Muhiddin Ibn Arabi, he represents the highest level of understanding and of wisdom.
Onun gibi bu ilimler var. İnsanlar anlamadığı için başkasına da anlamadan anlatıp
And like these, there are many types and forms of knowledge which people may not be experts in and which people may not understand. And it is very dangerous then to speak about things oneself does not understand to people who on the other side do not understand what one is saying.
onlar da maalesef bazen yoldan çıkıyorlar.
And then when you speak about things you yourself do not understand to people who themselves do not understand, then you may become the reasons why people lose their faith.
Bazen başka lüzumsuz şeyleri yapıyorlar.
And then they may do things which are not beneficial.
Devamlı insanların yapabileceği şeyi, anlayabileceği şeyleri anlatır.
And it is the Sheikh's responsibility to recognize and realize the level of to realize people's level of understanding, and then accordingly to speak to them and teach them.
Onlara herkesin seviyesine göre o sohbetten, o dersten anlayacağı kadar, ihtiyacı kadar verir.
Thus, a sheikh, who is a true teacher, speaks to his disciples and to his audience according to their level of understanding, and then transmits a message and delivers a lecture which is just right for the audience.
Onun için anlamadığın şeyi onu bırak.
Therefore, you should be humble enough to shy and stay away from those things which you do not understand.
Anladığın şeylere devam et.
And focus and concentrate on those things you do understand.
Biz Müslümanlar Allah'ın emirlerini %100 yapamayız.
We as Muslims and as human beings, we have flaws and we may not fully be capable of fulfilling Allah Almighty's commands and orders to 100%.
O da işte bu bir meseledir. %100 yapmaya kalkarsan yani yapamazsın.
And even if you tried and did everything to be 100% perfect, we are human beings and have mistakes and we cannot reach that level.
Onun için Allah'tan yardım isteyip Allah'tan af dileyeceğiz.
And therefore we must always recognize our weaknesses and be humble enough to always seek Allah Almighty's support and ask Him constantly for forgiveness.
Bu kadar yapıyoruz. Allah da kimseye yapamayacağı şeye teklif etmez.
We must be open and transparent and admit, oh our Lord Allah Almighty, this is just as much as we can, please forgive us. And we must never forget that Allah Almighty will not burden you with a task which you cannot carry.
Teklif etti, yaptığın kadar sana yeter.
And therefore, the things we are tasked to complete and perform are things which we are capable of. And if we do those things that are within our own domain of knowledge and expertise, then this will suffice.
Allah'ın lütfu, merhameti, mağfireti sonsuzdur.
There's no limit to Allah Almighty's mercy, generosity, His grace, and His divine favors.
Onu da bilmek lazım.
And this is important to be aware of.
Allah hepimizi affetsin inşallah.
May Allah Almighty forgive us all.
Ve minallah tevfik.